Love the Ravens as much as we do? Then smash that subscribe button and stay locked in with Flock News for all the drama, updates, and excitement all season long. The sports world is buzzing, and the shockwaves are spreading faster than anyone could have imagined. As rumors suggest that star defensive powerhouse Myles Garrett is on the verge of joining Baltimore, a move that could completely shake the foundations of the league. Sources who wish to remain anonymous have been whispering that negotiations have reached an advanced stage, and the potential signing could redefine the defensive strategies for the Ravens. Imagine a player of Garrett's caliber, someone whose presence on the field alone commands attention, aligning with a team already known for its tenacious defense. The mere idea of Garrett in a Ravens jersey has fans and critics alike scrambling to speculate on what this could mean for the team's dynamics. Analysts are already predicting that if this transfer materializes, rival teams could enter a state of panic, not only because of Garrett's raw talent, but also due to the potential disruption he could cause to offensive lines across the league. The buzz is so intense that it has sparked conversations in locker rooms, social media platforms, and sports talk shows, making it impossible to ignore the gravitational pull of this rumor. Every angle, every hypothetical scenario is being dissected as experts weigh the impact of Garrett potentially donning the Baltimore colors. The implications of Garrett joining Baltimore extend far beyond the defensive line, touching on strategy, fan engagement, and even the psychological game that teams play against each other. Imagine quarterbacks across the league who once felt confident in their passing schemes, suddenly having to reconsider every move, knowing that Garrett's presence could alter the outcome of any play. The panic is not unfounded. A defensive titan like him doesn't just tackle, he intimidates. He reshapes offensive playbooks, and he forces opposing teams to think twice about every decision. Rumors indicate that Garrett's arrival could also spark a chain reaction in roster adjustments, with the Ravens potentially recalibrating their lineup to maximize his impact. Fans are already visualizing game scenarios where Garrett's explosiveness and athleticism dominate crucial moments, turning Baltimore into a fortress difficult to breach. Media outlets are seizing on the speculation, creating narratives around how rival franchises might respond, whether by seeking defensive reinforcements of their own or attempting to lure star players to counterbalance the threat. Every social media post, every online debate, and every analyst's commentary feeds into the escalating hysteria surrounding this potential signing. The excitement is palpable, and even those who usually avoid rumors are finding themselves captivated by the possibility of Garrett's Baltimore chapter. Even internal team sources are hinting at subtle shifts in team morale, with Ravens players reportedly energized by the mere prospect of sharing the field with Garrett. Rumors suggest that practices could take on a new intensity, with players motivated to rise to the challenge of playing alongside someone of his caliber. Coaches might be adjusting defensive schemes behind closed doors, preparing for a future where Garrett becomes the centerpiece of their strategy, the player who dictates how opponents approach the game. Analysts and commentators are dissecting every aspect, from Garrett's injury history to his adaptability in different defensive formations, wondering how seamlessly he could integrate with a team already respected for its discipline and grit. Fans, on the other hand, are already generating highlight reels in their minds, imagining spectacular tackles, game-changing interceptions, and moments that could become instant classics in Ravens lore. The psychological impact on rivals cannot be overstated. Teams that once felt comfortable with their offensive advantages might now be questioning whether they can survive a season facing a Baltimore defense potentially fortified by Garrett's arrival. The ripple effects extend beyond just the field. Merchandise sales, ticket demand, and even local media coverage could see unprecedented surges if this rumor proves true. The intrigue is irresistible, and the league seems to be holding its collective breath as speculation mounts. Rumors also point toward possible contractual details that could make this signing even more eye-catching. Sources hint at a deal that balances guaranteed money with performance incentives, a structure designed to reward excellence while keeping team strategy flexible. This type of contract not only underscores the team's commitment to securing Garrett, but also highlights the calculated risk the Ravens appear willing to take to strengthen their defensive arsenal. Sports economists and contract analysts are dissecting every hypothetical clause, debating how it could influence future negotiations with other high-profile players. Meanwhile, fans are imagining Garrett's impact not only on the scoreboard but on the culture within the team. Leadership, locker room dynamics, and the intangible boost that comes from having a true superstar on the roster. The narrative is growing beyond the field itself, encompassing everything from media appearances to brand partnerships, as Garrett's presence could elevate Baltimore's visibility in ways previously unimagined. Rival teams are reportedly studying film, revising strategies, and even reconsidering draft plans, all fueled by the mere possibility that Garrett could soon be patrolling the Ravens' defensive line. The atmosphere is electric, charged with speculation, anticipation, and the thrill of what might be a defining moment in the franchise's history. Every corner of the football world seems to be affected, from casual fans to hardcore strategists, and the speculation shows no sign of slowing down. Social media has become a battleground of opinions, memes, and speculative scenarios about Garrett's potential move to Baltimore. Twitter threads are exploding with detailed analyses, from defensive formations to potential rivalries that could emerge once Garrett hits the field. Fans are dissecting old games, highlighting moments where his presence could have turned outcomes in the Ravens' favor, feeding the fantasy of an almost invincible defensive squad. Meanwhile, sports podcasts and YouTube channels are producing endless content, debating how Garrett's arrival could shift power balances across the league. Every mention of the rumor fuels more conversation, more anticipation, and more strategic speculation. Even casual observers are drawn in, imagining how this signing could influence fantasy football projections, media coverage, and even the broader perception of Baltimore as a football powerhouse. Analysts speculate about potential alliances with other defensive players, envisioning how Garrett's skills could complement existing stars and create a synergy that makes the Ravens nearly untouchable on key plays. The ripple effect extends beyond the field itself, influencing merchandise, sponsorships, and fan loyalty. The rumor has transcended its initial spark and become a cultural phenomenon within the football community, capturing imaginations and triggering passionate debates about what the future might hold if this transfer actually happens. Even more intriguing are the whispers about Garrett's personal motivations, with insiders suggesting that his decision may be influenced not only by competitive ambition but also by lifestyle considerations and team culture. Sources claim that Garrett is seeking an environment where his leadership is valued, his skills are showcased, and his personal brand can grow alongside the team's ambitions. This layer of speculation adds depth to the rumor, transforming it from a simple player transfer into a narrative about ambition, legacy, and the pursuit of excellence. Analysts are connecting dots between Garrett's past interviews, public statements, and social media activity to infer his mindset, generating even more discussions about how well he could integrate with the Ravens' ethos. Rival teams, aware of these factors, might be scrambling to adjust their own approaches, not just on the field but in courting potential players who could influence their future success. The speculation around Garrett's Baltimore rival is as much about psychology and narrative as it is about pure athletic performance, adding layers of intrigue that fuel endless debate. Fans are captivated, media outlets are energized, and the league is watching closely, all awaiting confirmation or denial of what could be one of the most talked about moves in recent history. The excitement is tangible, and every new rumor feels like a step closer to a reality that could redefine the defensive landscape. The speculation surrounding Myles Garrett's potential move to Baltimore is not just a story of talent acquisition, it is a saga of anticipation, strategy, and league-wide repercussions that could echo for seasons to come. Imagine a city where the stadium vibrates with the presence of a defensive superstar, a player whose mere reputation forces opposing quarterbacks to hesitate, second guess, and recalibrate their entire offensive approach. Rumors indicate that Garrett's possible integration into the Ravens system could involve specialized training, play adjustments, and a new level of defensive coordination aimed at maximizing his disruptive abilities. Analysts are hypothesizing about the creation of innovative blitz packages, coverage schemes tailored to Garrett's unique skill set, and how his presence could allow other defensive teammates to flourish in ways previously untapped. The excitement is not just about one player joining a team. It is about the transformation of an entire defensive philosophy. Fans are imagining every game, every key play, every pivotal moment where Garrett could turn the tide, creating highlights that will be replayed for years. Rival teams are reportedly reassessing their own strategies, drafting considerations, and roster depth, preparing for what might become an almost insurmountable defensive challenge. The speculation is rich, layered, and endlessly engaging, capturing the imagination of anyone who follows the sport. Every angle of this rumor seems designed to provoke excitement, curiosity, and even anxiety among teams and fans alike. Insiders hint that Garrett's potential contract may include incentives tied to team performance, sacks, and critical defensive plays, creating a scenario where his personal success is intimately linked to the Ravens' victories. This adds another layer to the speculation. Not only would Garrett strengthen Baltimore's defensive line, but he would also be a driving force in high-stakes situations, potentially altering how games are played and decided. Fans are imagining scenarios where Garrett's presence forces offensive coordinators to reinvent playbooks, quarterbacks to hesitate under pressure, and rival defenses to rethink their entire approach. Analysts speculate on complementary pairings with other defensive stars, envisioning a synergistic effect that magnifies Garrett's influence across every down. The ripple effect could reach every corner of the league, impacting draft strategies, free agency moves, and even coaching decisions. The very idea of Garrett in Baltimore sparks debates about fairness, dominance, and what it takes to compete at the highest level. This level of speculation transforms a simple player transfer into a phenomenon with implications far beyond the individual, resonating through the sport's entire ecosystem and leaving fans, teams, and commentators in a state of eager anticipation. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. Beyond the field, Garrett's rumored arrival could have profound effects on team culture, locker room dynamics, and fan engagement. Baltimore fans are reportedly buzzing with anticipation, imagining the energy, leadership, and inspiration a player of Garrett's caliber could bring to practices, team meetings, and game day preparation. Insider whispers suggest that even the coaching staff is considering adjustments to maximize Garrett's impact, from defensive formations to leadership responsibilities, ensuring that his presence translates into tangible results. The psychological effect on rival teams is equally significant, with reports suggesting that offensive units are already bracing themselves for a new era of defensive intimidation. Analysts are hypothesizing about how Garrett's personality, competitive mindset, and work ethic might influence teammates, inspiring a new generation of players and creating a culture of excellence that could extend well beyond a single season. Fans are imagining not just on-field heroics, but also media appearances, interviews, and public engagements that elevate the team's profile. The speculation encompasses every aspect of Garrett's potential influence, from gameplay to culture to fan loyalty, illustrating why this rumor has captured the imagination of the entire football world. Every angle is being debated, dissected, and fantasized about, creating an atmosphere of unprecedented anticipation surrounding Baltimore and its possible new defensive star. The strategic consequences of Garrett joining Baltimore could redefine rivalries across the league. Coaches, analysts, and sports commentators are all speculating about how opposing teams might adjust offensive schemes to counter his anticipated impact. Rumors indicate that quarterbacks might be forced to release the ball faster, change their reads, or avoid certain plays entirely, fundamentally altering the flow of games. Rival teams might prioritize acquiring their own defensive talents or reshaping offensive line compositions to withstand Garrett's pressure, creating a domino effect of tactical adjustments across the league. Media coverage is emphasizing not just the player, but the potential power shift within football itself, presenting Garrett's possible arrival as a move capable of elevating Baltimore from a respected team to an intimidating defensive juggernaut. Fans are imagining historical moments where Garrett changes outcomes with a single play, cementing his legacy and rewriting narratives. Speculation about rival reactions adds tension, drama, and urgency to the story, creating a compelling saga that feels larger than sport itself. Every day brings new theories, hypothetical matchups, and strategic musings, feeding the excitement and uncertainty surrounding this potential blockbuster move. Even contract speculation fuels the frenzy, with insiders suggesting a deal that balances guaranteed compensation with performance-based bonuses, creating a mutually beneficial arrangement that maximizes motivation and team synergy. Analysts are debating how this contract could serve as a blueprint for future high-profile acquisitions, influencing negotiations across the league. Fans are imagining how Garrett's financial and professional terms reflect both his value and the Ravens' ambition, adding another layer of drama to the unfolding rumor. Beyond money, this contract could represent a commitment to excellence, a signal that Baltimore is prepared to invest everything necessary to secure a player capable of transforming their defense. The rumor is evolving into a narrative about ambition, strategy, and legacy, blending personal achievement with team success. Social media chatter, sports shows, and online debates are intensifying as every new leak or insider report fuels the speculation fire. Rival teams are responding in kind, monitoring developments closely and assessing the implications for their own rosters, strategies, and future plans. The excitement is not just about Garrett. It is about the potential ripple effects throughout the league, creating a story that captures attention, imagination, and speculation at every level of professional football. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.